Greetings and welcome to another Diablo 4 build video. Today I want to show you the Lightning Storm Druid in an endgame setup. It really slaps, and I will first show you the whole build, gear, skills, Paragon board, Seneschal construct, because we are in season 3, we are using like this little buddy here, which greatly helps us and really makes us stronger. And yeah, and then followed by some gameplay. You can look at the timestamps in the description below if you want to jump ahead. I will show you the bosses that I killed. Like I killed all of the bosses with it very fast. So also Lilith. And then I will show you how I do Helltide, which is very smooth because I am going for some movement speed in this build, and everything in the Helltide is one shot basically. And then, yeah, a nightmare, I think it was tier 97 something dungeon. So this will be, yeah, in this video. Okay, let's get right in the build. I don't know where to start actually. Let's start with the skill tree, I guess. We put in 2 points in the basic skills because we have to. I really hope they changed that because we are not using any basic skill in this build. Then we have Lightning Storm as our main damage dealer, of course, enhanced and primal. We have Wild Impulses for even more damage. We have 1 into Predatory Instincts and then 3 into movement speed because we are always Werewolf. You will see we have Mad Wolf's Glee. So this is very nice. If you are fighting bosses, you might want to cut 2 points here and put it into Predatory Instinct. Stay relatively close to the boss so you get more crit. But this is more the speed variant of the build, so there are a little bit of changes to that. As well here we are running Blood Hole with enhanced and an innate Blood Hole to give us some spirit, because sometimes if there's like only little monsters or everything dies in one hit, you will see that we will get a little bit resource starved, although we have Tempest Throw and everything else. And this really helps, and then the cooldown gets decreased very easily because we're killing so much, even if it's like small packs in one hit, but then we can just pump it again. If you're running higher Nightmare tier dungeons, I recommend going Cyclone Armor, Enhanced, and Preserving, just for more survivability instead of Blood Hole. Then we have here the Ancestral Fortitude, because we kind of need some resistances still, and then Vigilance as well, which really synergizes well with Blood Hole too, because you can just spam it since we're killing so many monsters. Then, since we are running, and we'll get to that in a second in the item section, the Shepherd's aspect, which gives us core skill damage. I think it's core skill, right? For every companion that you run, we have Wolves, we have Poison Creeper, and we have Ravens. We're not really... What's happening? My game is freezing. Not really enhancing the Wolves because, well, they don't... Sorry to say that they don't matter. But yeah, Wolf Companions are three wolves, because we also have the other aspect that gives us an additional companion. And then Poison Creeper actually is really great for us, especially Brutal Poison Creeper, because we get more critical strike chance for everything hit. It really helps with bosses. And then Ravens have a similar thing. Here we get additional Ravens, of course, we want that. And then they also gave me, where is it here, critical strike chance. As for the Rav skills, we're only having passives here. Elemental Exposure to get some vulnerable on the enemy, which doesn't happen way too often, but sometimes it does, and it's pretty nice. It's a decent chunk of plus damage. Then only 1 point in Charge Atmosphere to reach Electric Shock, which really gives us some damage boost right here. And then the big damage boost comes from Neurotoxin Toxic Claws, which makes it so our crit strikes will poison the enemy, and we are a werewolf. We have Tempest Throw, so our Lightning Storm is a werewolf skill. And then we put in all these points, like 3 points, and then we have 3 on the amulet to Envenom, which gives us 60% bonus critical strike damage, which is huge. So this is a really big damage scaler. As for ultimate, we got Petrify, which is also great because it gives us 30%, or against bosses 50% more critical strike damage bonus. We are very much a crit strike build. And then like Prime and Supreme Petrify gives us like a little bit of a spirit back. Then we have 3 into Defiance, just more damage against elites, 2 into Circle of Life, 1 into Natural Disaster. Actually, these are like very flexible, so if you don't like Defiance as much, you can maybe go with Resonance for the flat damage. Do as you please. And then maybe what might surprise you as for key passes, if you're going with Lupine Ferocity, which will proc so often, and you will see the big damage number every so often, like 3 million there, like 2 point something million there. And this comes for the 6th werewolf skill, critical striking, dealing 70% increased damage and even 140 against injured enemies. You could also go with Ursine Strength for the while healthy deal more damage. Not so much for the werebearer part, because we're not a werebearer, but this still is nice, for example, against bosses. And like overall, you just can, if you're healthy, you can run around, deal 25% more damage. There's also, of course, the Nature's Fury build. I'm not gonna go into that, but there's like some synergy here with like the aspect that gives you reduced cooldown if you have this proc, but I don't wanna get into that. And if you're not as geared yet in terms of crit strike chance, you can still run Earth Might with the aspect that makes your storm skills able to proc this. So this is the skill tree, and yeah, we already talked for 5 minutes. It's incredible, right? It's just so much to talk about. And then the character, maybe this is obvious, Tempest Roar, Mad Wolf's Glee, also movement speed, very important. You can run something different with like more defenses. I can show you right here. If you lack survivability, like this one, damage reduction. I mean, this is not a great roll. It has all stats, which I really don't want, but you can imprint like disobedience you don't need, but there is this aspect that gives you reduced damage while in werewolf form. Here, vigorous defensive aspect. It gives you damage reduction. You can print it on your chest armor, and yeah, if you lack survivability. Other than that, Metal 3 of course is more damage, more movement speed, just overall great. And of course, Unsung Ascetic Reps, which are new since Season 3. This one gives us all that we want actually. Crit Strike, Lightning Storm, Ranks, Defiance is nice, and Lucky Hit, as well as the unique ability, of course. As for the pants, we're looking at quadruple damage reduction. I'm not really fond with the damage reduction by Fortified because I'm not really using Fortified as much. I would need to change my Spirit Boon right here from Energize to Bolster, which I might do. I mean, depend on the content. I'm using Energize against bosses because I need more Spirit against a single target. But I'm jumping around a bit. Sorry about that. Yeah, something really with much defense can also have like max life. Just look at a lot of damage reduction. And then the Juggernaut's aspect is like insane. Right now you see we have 5,758 armor, which gives us 40% damage reduction. And if you go outside, because then the Juggernaut will proc. Oh, come on. Hello. And here you go. And we are armor capped. So by one aspect that's always online, we're armor capped and 85% reduced damage, which is great. Yes, the evade has increased cooldown, but we don't mind so much because we are, as you can see, my game freezes, I don't know why. It happened since the last patch. We are running around pretty fast. Look at that. And then if we dodge, we even run around faster for a few seconds. Coming to the boots, evade grants movement speed. Just choose what is best to you. I don't know. I just have these because they have the stats that I need. I mean, aside from Fortified Generation, again, I don't really want that. And actually, I looked at it. If we remove the total armor while in Werewolf, we still are armor capped with Juggernaut. So I'm gonna look for different boots, but they should have movement speed and they should have the resistances that you might need. And then whatever complements your build. I mean, if you don't have enough armor on the rest of the gear, maybe total armor is the thing for you. And I have the slaughter aspect because I want to run around fast. It's not the best roll. I think it can go to 2.5 seconds. But since, for example, in Helltide, we're just running around and just one-shotting everything, this will never go offline. So we are always having 20% movement speed, which is very nice for like a speed-oriented build. You can have other stuff on here if you want, just depends. I already mentioned these other passives, the key passive that works, Nature's Free, the legendary aspect that works with that. You can put on your boots actually, or there's one that makes debilitating roar a werewolf skill, which is also nice if you want more fortify. And yeah, the weapon, Shepherd's Aspect, I already mentioned it. It has the highest roll here and 20% damage for the core skill for each active companion, which is really, really great. And then you're looking at close damage, distant enemies damage, willpower, and all stats is actually, in terms of affix, is perfect. Not in terms of rolls, but this is what we want. So this is great. Amulet, another movement speed aspect. Critical strikes grant 22.5 movement speed for 1 second up to 6 seconds. Again, we are crit striking a lot. And especially if you're running from pack to pack, I mean monster pack, then this is up all the time. It also comes with movement speed on the amulet itself, damage reduction from poisoned and venom. I'm really, really happy with this amulet actually. You can also roll something like armor while in werewolf form, but again, we are armor capped, so damage reduction is actually better. And venom is the huge damage boost that we want. Then as for the socket something that you need in terms of resistances. Resistance to all. I'm almost res capped. I have a little bit less lightning res, but that's all right. Then we're looking at Stampede right here. We gain an additional companion, as I already mentioned, and then you're looking at crit strike chance, damage to close enemies, damage to distant enemies, and then you want lucky hit chance. I don't have it. Haven't found it so far. I have crit strike damage with werewolf skills, which again, lightning storm is a werewolf skill with tempest roar, so there you go. But I'd rather have lucky hit chance. Same goes here for, I mean, this actually has all the affixes I want. The crit chance is just a low roll, unfortunately. I think it can go up to 8. But again, these are the 4 affixes that we want on the ring. Then we have the Lightning Dancer's Loop, which gives us the dancing bolts, which are very, very nice and will also be enhanced through our Paragon. All right, then Seneschal. We're looking at Tempest, we're looking at Safeguard. You can also swap this out for Fortify. It depends, like if you want more Fortify or not. Resource is very, very nice. It really, really helps us out. And then Flash of Adrenaline gives us more damage with tactical and duration. It's always up. And then I found the Genesis, which gives this more effectiveness. Like if I removed it, we get 20% more damage. If I put it in, we get 50% more damage, which is huge. And here we have the Evernight. Of course, it's very, very great. You can also run with Arcing, for example, or just anything that you need. If you're not having like Tempest Roar yet, you can still run this build actually. I want to go into that in detail right now, but to proc the poison, you can use Poison Support and Arcing. So you have like Tempest or Lightning Bolt, and then the poison will spread and you can still use Envenom. So Boons, Weariness, Side Talents, Avian Wrath, Boltstar, and Calm for the Storm. Nothing really too crazy here. You can like play around with it a bit. If you need more survivability, go with Iron Feather right here. If you want Overload as well for more damage, you need to make this one your favorite and change something else. Like, but this in general like is a good setup. Lastly, Paragon. All right, let's do it. Also, like the whole build will be in the description below. I think I haven't mentioned that, but yeah. We have Territorial right here. We have the Heightened Malice board, but we haven't chosen it because we don't have the necessary points. We rather go with Ancestral Guidance here. But we have the Earth and Sky. Then you go here to Constricting Tendrils, but you only go to the glyph, which is Spirit. Then you go next to here, which is the Inner Beast, which we also don't need because we're always werewolf. We're not really swapping around anyways. But we got the werewolf right here for more damage reduction. You can also go with Keeper. I see a lot of builds go with Keeper. I just think we have enough damage. We don't need the 10%. Really, we don't need it. We have so much damage. You will see it in the gameplay and when I kill all the bosses later. So werewolf is much appreciated to have 10% DR. And yeah, Ancestral Guidance, as I mentioned, right here. And then we go up, Thunderstruck. And this is the big boy damage right here. This is why we choose close and distant damage multipliers or additives. Because the additive damage from damage versus close, damage versus distant, 20% of that will give us multiplicative damage. And in this case, 63%, which is huge. This can, I don't think it's capped, so you can go as high as the stats on your gear allow. This is already a good a good bonus because I think I have it on both rings and I have it on the weapon as well, which is huge. Sorry, going back to Paragon. And then lastly, we go here and choose Lust for Carnage, which gives us like the Spirit Restoration. And yeah, Electrocution, I think it's a no-brainer. This is the Dancing Bolts, and Lightning Bolts will be increased damage. And then also enemies damaged by that will also get increased damage, so that's pretty great. And yeah, Fulminate, I think I haven't mentioned. So here I'm not sure actually. I'm in between Fulminate and Exploit. But I think Fulminate is better. Yeah, it's overall damage better, but Exploit gives us like the vulnerability for like 3 seconds, which isn't huge. I guess I would rather go with something in the Seneschal, maybe dropping out Safeguard and putting in, where is it? There's one that, here, Breaking Support. It destroys enemy barriers and then there's a 100% chance to make enemies vulnerable. Maybe I should swap that in. So if I don't need Safeguard, which gives us 50% DR flat out all the time actually, then yeah, I would put in Breaking Support. All right, I think we talked about everything. Oh, it only took us 16 minutes. I feel like I talk very fast. Again, the build is in the description below. And yeah, other than that, the gameplay sections are uncommented this time. I just put them in the video and you can enjoy them at your own pace. If you have any questions or comments, or you think I'm talking nonsense and you would build it way differently, then please in the comments below. I appreciate your feedback. And then, yeah, enjoy the gameplay, and until next time, good luck, have fun, and till then.
I must wait a moment. I must wait a moment. I must wait a moment. I must wait a moment.
but I hope it helps.
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I must wait a moment. 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 wait a moment. I must wait a moment.